Hey guys, today I'm going to do the big evaluation for the new LAAM seat. Now, as much as I like doing videos for you guys, I need some time to myself for this. I'm just going to put on some miles, put on some hours, put on some music, go out and hit some back roads, and just really get a good evaluation of it. And I need to do it right away because, number one, I need to make sure that what he's built for me, because it is a custom seat, it's not a product you can just order. It's all made to order, and I'll go over that later on in the review, but I need to make sure it's right while I have his shipping box and everything here. So if I do need to send it back for any kind of tweaking, I can do so here, because once I send back my set of stock seats, because it's an exchange program, well, then I'd be left without a seat if something does turn up to be not kosher. So I'm going to do that today. It's Sunday. Tomorrow, if everything comes out well today, stock seats will go back, and that's that. So I'm going to go out right now. It's really hot out. It's about 1 in the afternoon, but got to get in before the rains. The clouds are kind of building up, but they're still a few hours away. So let's get to it. I'll let you know what I think as soon as I get back, and I'll go through the whole process and everything I think about the seat. Okay, I'm back. I did an hour-and-a-half ride. Certainly enough to give me a really good impression and feelings. I want to do my first impressions now, so nothing really gets lost. Later on tonight, I'm going to lay them next to each other. I'll go through the differences with you, tell you about ordering it and all that kind of stuff. But for now, bottom line, pun intended, I do like it. It's not perfect, but I don't think my perfect seat exists because everything has pros and cons. Right off the bat, very comfortable to actually sit on. Some really good things come out of it, like I feel more connected to the bike. It sounds a little weird to think this kind of seat would do that, but let me explain why. With the stock seat, after even a half an hour, I would start to feel it, and I would be clenching my butt, really, so it wouldn't be so uncomfortable, and my attention was down there. I would look forward to stopping at a stoplight, for example, so I could put my legs down, It was on my mind. This is like a car where I didn't think about it. I could just enjoy whatever I was doing. I never had the attention going to anything feeling out of place. The other cool thing is, because it has those wings for support, and because I'm not having to shift around or clench my muscles down there or anything, my legs grip the tank differently. They're a little more naturally together, and my thighs are more relaxed because I'm not using any muscles in my butt. It's just sitting there planted, firm as can be, and now I really do feel connected to the bike on a little bit better level. Downside to it, it did take up every bit of extra room I had. I have a 32-inch inseam. I don't think any custom seat out there, now he only raised this somewhere between half an inch and an inch, all right? It wasn't much, but that's all I had. I can't stand up anymore and have any clearance under the seat, and it caught me by surprise. I was out here and I did stop at one light where I was on a bit of an incline, and I was like, oh, because I'm used to being able to flat foot pretty much anywhere and having a little room and being able to, rock the bike a little bit back and forth and still being completely on my feet. That's gone. All right, now on level ground, I'm barely flat-footing it, but on any kind of incline, one foot kind of does want to go up on its ball a little bit. More accurately, I should say that I'm flat-footed, but 100% of my weight is not on my feet anymore. Now I have some pressure points underneath my thighs from the little wings on the back of the seat. So my legs are now basically permanently spread out. I have bends in the knees, but my thighs can't go down anymore because they're resting on the seat. So my lower legs, they're just basically dangling there. But I am barely at flat foot, all right? So I still like it. And luckily, I didn't have much room left either, being in the bubble. So now with my screen all the way up, another half an inch and I would have some buffeting. If I really straighten myself up, I can feel the wind now. So I'm barely still in that bubble. That probably would have been a deal breaker because, that means this whole new windshield wouldn't have been worth anything, because I would want to go back to stock if I couldn't get a bubble zone with it up. That's the entire point of it. And that's really the only reason why I live with how I don't like it as much in the lower position. Speaking of position, the seat is in the low position, same as before. I'm not even going to attempt it in the high position, because it wouldn't work for me. Another inch, no, I wouldn't be flat-footing at all, and that would be extremely uncomfortable. I don't recommend anybody that's shorter than a 32-inch inseam to run this seat, or pretty much any custom seat out there, because they're all going to add over stock. So bear that in mind. Other first impressions. Man, I'll tell you what, it just works. I'm trying to think of something, but I haven't been thinking about it at all. You know, got back. I stopped at a store just to get a drink because it's so freaking hot. I was dehydrated. But standing around, I'm just thinking about it right now. I have absolutely no pain, no feeling at all. I don't. Normally, my tailbone would kind of be throbbing a little bit. I would feel a little bit of like a bruise kind of feeling. I wouldn't have bruises from the stock seat or anything like that. But you know, you'd feel something there. Nothing. It's like I haven't even been riding the bike. So that's great. I mean, that's an hour and a half, absolutely like I haven't been riding. Before, after half an hour, I would start to feel something. After an hour, I would start getting that kind of uncomfortable feeling. Hour and a half would have been, I would be feeling my tailbone right now. So big thumbs up. Anyway, I'm going to go cool off a bit and get my stuff together here, show you some more about it, and finish up the total review for you. Okay, to start out, we're going to start with the stock seats. This is obviously what most people are going to be coming from. They have pros and cons. Obviously, the only big con I have is the way that it makes my butt feel after the long rides. Said enough about that. It's just the combination of padding and the size of the padding. It looks like a nice, big, wide support, but really these sides are so squishy, they don't do anything. They just kind of fold over. And what I end up on is an area about this big, about the size of my hand, that I'm actually supported by and sitting on. And something I didn't realize until I got the new seat, when I sat back on the stock, it feels like you're on a sideways teeter-totter, because you're sitting on such a small little area. Your whole body can do this, because this whole side, it just collapses. This isn't really supportive at all. Now, that's a pro and a con. If you do any kind of aggressive riding where you need to slide your body off and do any kind of leans, you're going to have to stay with stock, because these custom seats that have the bigger wings, they absolutely preclude that. I cannot lean my butt off the side of the new seat. I can on this, no problem whatsoever. Obviously, the fit and finish on stock is perfect. All right, the seats have no interference. They fit each other with a perfect overlap. There's a gap here, so it fits around the bike. It's snug. Perfect lines. You know, there's nothing to say bad about it. Taking it off, it's very easy. You just give the key a little turn and a click, and the seat, it pops up. You know, it pops up out of the latch, and you just grab it. All right, so let's set this over here. Take the main one off. Now I want to show you the differences between the fit. Now obviously you're not taking these seats on and off much, so what I'm going to show you, don't take them as complaints or negatives. I'm just showing you everything that you are going to experience if you get these, because they're going to pop out into your head. All right? Okay, so putting the new one in, you have to give it a little bit of a shove first, and then it snaps right in. Not a big deal. Just, you're going to notice it. The big thing is, it's a lot more difficult to get the rear seat on. Here comes the rain. Holy moly. I got home in time. Because there's so much more padding, you have to use two hands and push this down to get the seat, the pan underneath the brackets here. Make sure it stays down. And then you got to push this down. And I kind of squish up these wings here to get them over the edges. So there you go. Okay, thunderstorm passed. Still drizzling out, but the noise is gone. Couldn't even hear myself thinking here with all the rain hitting the roof and the thunder. So I'll give you a look here with the stock equipment back on. So the jivvy rack is off, and that's going to stay off most of the time. We're just going to be using that rack pretty rarely, a few times a year. Just a couple minutes to swap it on and off, and I do greatly love the looks of that body matched rack back there. Not that the jivvy one looks bad, I'll tell you, it looks a hell of a lot better to me in real life than pictures. There aren't that many pictures out there that I saw, but it doesn't look bad. I just like this a lot better. Anyway, the seat. Show you how it looks here. So you can see how it fits in there. There's still plenty of room for the passenger to actually use these grab rails. Got plenty of gap. Barely touches it here. Goes on this a little bit easier than with the jivvy rack, which contacts a little bit more because they're thicker rails, but still not a big deal either way. You can see the passenger has nice wings out here also. Wife said she likes it a lot better. We haven't done a long trip together yet. You know, I did my test today, but not with her. But just squatting on it, especially with this little rear cup dip here, she said she felt a lot more comfortable just sitting on it so far. And then you can see the rider here, obviously significantly different. This was a stock line here, so all of this is added. Now with my foot down on the ground, I am contacting these points right here. This is where my legs just go out, my knee goes out, and that's it. I mean, I can't put my leg any more down. Here, I'll show you. Got shorts on here so you can see exactly how my leg looks. Okay, now it's straight up. So this is it. I mean, I get a little bit more from my heels, but you can see with my leg at a rest, this is the angle that the legs are at, and they can't go any lower because I'm contacting this wing right here. So my legs just kind of dangle. Now with my boots on, like I said, I'm barely flat-footed. I'm flat-footed on the right. My left is dangling. I can go up on my balls barefoot. So that's about what I lost. It's more of this here not allowing my thighs to go more vertical than the actual raise in the seat foam that ate this up. But this is it. Now I can't even really stand up. Even with the boots on, my butt is still on the seat, my crotch is still on the seat. It ate up all the room. So I knew that ahead of time though. That's not a negative. So that kind of leads into the ordering process. It's okay. It's not perfect. He's a one-man band, so I completely sympathize. I'm the same way. And he's very busy, of course. It is a very in-demand product for good reason. So he's got this email form kind of system going on his website. You can also call his number and leave a message, and he will eventually get back to you. On the form, he has a lot of options, so you can kind of clue him in to what you want, what kind of problems you're having with the stock, and he'll do a consultation call with you, which he did with me, of course, and figures out exactly what the best plan of attack is, what kind of materials you like, colors. There are tons and tons of possibilities. I wanted as stock as possible. So this is black vinyl, just like stock. It has a textured top. This is called the carbon fiber weave. Very close to stock. Feels great. Excellent texture. Black stitching so they don't stand out. The stitching here is not ornamental, it's functional because it does have so much contour. I actually like it a lot better than the stock because the stock one is just stapled along the sides, so the actual material floats above the foam. I like that look a lot better. So he goes over that. You can get vinyl, you can get leather, all different kinds of colors. You can match your bike. You know, tons and tons of options there. You can get options like, I believe I saw you even had heated options. So if you're in colder climates, we don't need it in Florida, but you get the idea. You can get just one seat. You can get both seats. I believe he handles pretty much any bike out there. Like I said, it's an exchange process, so he does need your stock seats back, but all he uses are the seat pans. All he uses are these bottom plastic pieces with the latch. And then everything above that is built up. He's got several different types of foam, different types of thicknesses and different hardnesses, and he puts them in different areas. And of course, the size of these wings depends on the specifications. If you're a smaller rider, you don't need it so thick. You may not need as big wings. So all of that is custom. This seat is customized to me and to my wife. So if somebody that's 100 pounds lighter or shorter tries to use this seat, they're in for a bad day. Likewise, if I try to use theirs, I'm in for a bad day. So it is very customized to your specifications. And don't worry if he doesn't get it right at the first crack. That's why I really needed to do this long-term or longer test today, so I knew if they were right. You can send them back and he'll tweak them for you, no problem. All right, let's go ahead and compare them directly to stock right now so you can get a better idea of how they differ. So here we see the real obvious differences. Stock, you can see, has a nice straight look, and the big wings are what really set these custom seats apart. Now, it really doesn't matter if it's a LAAM seat or Russell Day Long or any of the others that have longer term comfort. They get them by distributing the load, and the load is your butt. Like I said, on these stock seats, you're sitting on a surface about the size of your fist. You're tripling that with this because these are firm. These don't give. This is like putty, all right? Don't think that you're sitting on this entire section of the stock seat. Don't mind that. I just had the seat sitting upside down on the other one, so the foam is a little memory in there. It's not ripped or anything. That's me being dumb. Remember when I said set your seats down in a safe place? So I stacked them, and that's why. If that had caught on something, it would have been ripped. Didn't follow my own advice there. Anyway, super soft and squishy foam in here. Non-supportive except for right here in the center. And it's so squishy that your butt ends up contacting the pan after a while. So it gives me that bruised feeling. This not only has the extra area, it's not only firmer, but it's multiple layers of firm. He's got multiple types of foam in here. It's comfortable, but it's still supportive. He's also built the center area up here with firmer foam. Now it's the same kind of rise. The stock has the little lip right here. There's nothing extra. This is just one layer of super squishy foam. In here he's got the same buildup. So it keeps you planted right back here, and you don't end up sliding forward and hugging the tank so much as you do with this. This one, I mean, there's nothing really to stop you. So your nuts end up on the tank. Side view. This might be a little difficult. And let me set something up. Alright, this is the best side view I can give you. You can see the overall contours are very different. You can see that bump in the middle. That's what ate up my space. You can see that the stock is actually sculpted more in the front. And that's what keeps you off the tank. And of course the wings, huge difference there. Overall height in the back is about the same, but where it is different. It is a slightly different dimension seat, and here's something else that happens because of that. One other change, and it has to do with the thickness of the padding directly under the new material, is that this right here contacts the bike, and it doesn't stock. The stock here has almost no padding right here, and this is just cover material. All right, there's no padding underneath this inside. As a result, you get a nice gap between the trim piece here and the stock seat. But with this one, and probably most other customs, because they're wrapping it with thicker padding and different materials, this is now squished up against that trim piece. And here's what happened. I shot this video right after I got it. I thought I would like it, but I didn't. So here's the new leather chair edition LAAM seat. Kind of dig it. And here's all I had to do to fix the problem. I went to my local craft fabric store and I got a roll of this very soft adhesive backed felt Velcro. This isn't the hard plastic or polyester type. This is very, very soft. I'm just using this soft part of it, and I just put one little strip along the bottom here where the inside of that new seat hits. Completely silent, just like stock. Alternatively, you could attach this. It'd probably be best to sew it in rather than use adhesive, but you could also put it on the inside of the seat in here. But it's no big deal sticking it to the bike. Cost me all of 12 bucks for a roll. Whoop-de-doo. It would be nice if he had some soft material. That's the other thing with the stock. These are two different vinyls. This is very rubber felt-like. It's much softer, and that's what's on this inside. So even when it does contact the tank, there's no noise. I mean, it's very soft, and there's no padding here. So if he wanted to do the same thing, or others, the padding needs to be removed from this inner lip and a different material applied just in here, much softer, and then you don't get any of the noise. But with this strip, it's exactly like stock. There's absolutely zero noise. It was driving me crazy because just moving my leg to shift would that would drive me up a wall. But I did like the the leather chair sound. That was pretty cool for a couple minutes. All right, well, I think that is going to about wrap it up here. So there you go. There is my overview and full review of the LAAM seats. Absolutely love them. I'm very glad that I stumbled upon them. I only found out about him through a Facebook group. I got the big names thrown at me in the forums and everything, and then somebody said, this guy, I was going to buy one off of eBay that seems to be popular overseas, and it was something like 600 bucks. Didn't really look too different than stock. It had some different piping and stuff, but the shape looked pretty much like you just threw a cover on a stock, so I was kind of hesitant about that. And like I said, not a fan whatsoever of the look of the big old cruiser seats stuck on these. I think it ruins the look of the sport bike. And you know what? When I say that, instantly people just hate me. I can't understand why so many bike owners think someone with a different opinion of something they like means it's an attack. I don't understand it. I happen to like this. Maybe I happen to like something else. If you like something else, that's fine. I don't care what you like on your bike. I don't understand why people care about what I like on mine. I really don't get. Some people get so angry and defensive and offensive. It blows my mind, and it seems to be really common with motorcycle owners for some reason. The seat debates, if you go online, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's like Ford versus Chevy, man. Dude, buy what you like, ride what you like. If in 6 months I decide, you know what, this isn't for me, maybe we're all of a sudden going to do a cross-country trip, and maybe I need a Russell day long, and, I'll have to live with the looks. Maybe that'll happen. I don't know. But this is what I got. This is what I think about it. That's it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. We'll see you next time. Oh, do you see how soaked I am? This is why I haven't been riding very much lately. This is how hot and humid it is here. I'm in the garage. I'm not doing anything. It's just hot. This is the worst summer I've ever seen down here, and I've been down here 15 years. This is by far the most intense. This is just weird. I can't do anything outside. This is 15 minutes of me just standing here doing this video. I'm soaking wet. Welcome to Florida. See you guys.